I'm Lucas, and I've been to your seminar right now with shadow work, and like to hear a little bit about what your ideas from shamanic work is about communities. What you think?
Well,
First of all, tell me who you are.
okay, my name is Uchu. I'm coming from Latin America, from South America. I'm a shaman in the Toltec tradition. About communities, it's a big topic, and it's a very important one, because most of the problems we have as a society is because we have been detribalized. We have been pushed apart. Now, in the native cultures, there is a prophecy. I don't know, the Hopi prophecy. I don't know if you know it. And in one part of the Hopi prophecy, because the Hopi have many prophecies and all of them came true. And the last one said, the time for the lone wolf is over. It's time to find your tribe. It's time to come together. And they call it the tribe of many colors. People from different races in different parts of the world coming together. And they say that this is the only way to go to a better future. So I believe that creating communities of like-minded people with the same interest, is the solution. So, I travel to many countries, to all the world, and I'm always invited to places where they are building communities. And you just can feel different energy. You just can feel that is right, let's say, Yes. The connection between people and the connection with the environment. The biggest problem we have in society is that we believe, or our egos make us believe, that we are above nature. Okay. And we want to adapt nature to us. But it's time to go back to a natural way of living, in harmony with nature, following the cycles of life. And the only way you can do this is creating communities of like-minded people. You cannot do this in the city. You cannot do this in everyday life. So, going back to more our roots, connection with nature, in practical ways, for instance, permacultura, natural buildings, and building with natural materials, and living a life in harmony between people, harmony with yourself, and harmony with the environment is the solution for most of our problems as a society. So I'm pro, and I'm very enthusiastic about building communities.
Yeah, thank you. What do you think about the place? What is important for those people finding the right place where they build their community?
Absolutely. The place, I would say that is like 80% of the success of the community, places, nature, it has, let's say, different intentions and energies in different places. And the land, any land you are, like in this beautiful place we are, it takes the energy of people, understand, and adapt to the vibration. So if you have a piece of land that in the past there were, let's say, people with low vibration, low energy, the land also will match that vibration. But there are places with much higher vibration, that sometimes I don't want to say, I'm trying to find the words, because if I say, there are places that like people and there are places that don't like people. You understand? So you need to find the right place to set your community, a place with a high vibrational frequency where nature is, in a cycle of like water, with earth, with fire, in harmony. I know this sounds abstract,
Yes.
but the place, what I want to say simple, is the place where you set your community is the utmost important part.
How do you find those places?
Okay, if you can see energies and can communicate with nature, you can ask. But basically, it's a place you feel good at. At any place you come to a place, if you're ideal sensitive, you come to this place, to any place, I feel good here. My spirit is happy. And some other places you go, so here is heavy energy. I don't feel good here. I don't like. Simple.
Okay, super. And when there's a place you already have, and it might have negative energies on it,
yes,
what you do?
Okay, you clean the energies. Okay, I don't want to talk about my experience myself, but I'm creating also a place similar to what you're asking. And when we bought this land, the first thing we did is there is a ritual we do for blessing the land, asking the land forgiveness for whatever we did to it in the past. And then we place 4 stones in the 4 corners of the place, and we call the 4 directions, the 4 spirits of the 4 directions, to protect the place, to clean it up, etc. And we perform some rituals, with crystal, with fire, with many things to purify the place. But it's about people, If you come to a place that it doesn't feel the right one, but you have a group of people happy, dancing, holding hands, and enjoying, the place will match that vibration. Whenever you broadcast a frequency, the environment need to match it. It need to match that vibration. So it's not only about the place, you need people also that like-minded, with one intention, with one goal, with one common goal, then the land will support you.
What advice do you have for a group of people to come together to get this joy coming up?
Okay, I have an advice that is not the one you expect me to say.
Yeah.
But I've been in many communities, and most of communities that fail is because the ego of people. If you're going to build a community, you need to leave the ego outside the community. Okay? You need to, but in the practical way, the people with you will create the community. Usually somebody that lives naturally, that is more connected to their essence, to nature, that eats healthy food, that love the sunsets and the birds. This is the kind of people.
And when you have those kind of people, how do you guarantee that those kind of people feel good with each other after like 10 years maybe?
It will always arise some frictions and problems. But we can learn from the people that have done it before. We can learn from the native communities. Understand? So I've been in many communities that people live, but there is one common space where everybody gathers. If I have a problem with you, I don't argue with you here. It goes to the temple, to the place. The whole community sits around, and I say, I don't like him because he did this. I say, no, because I did this. But it's a collective happening. All together, we'll find a solution. I always say the whole, in this case the community, the whole is wiser than the part. So that's why in the Indian communities you have the elders, that they give advice to the young, because they already had these problems before and they knew how they solved it.
Right.
So we need to look back in time. We need to see how our great-grandfathers and great-grandmothers used to live. They were in harmony with the land and in harmony with the other people, because this was the only way to survive. Understand?
Is there anything like rules or something that we have? I mean, I'm interviewing you in Germany right now, so So we are about rules, but no, just a joke, yeah. But what do you think of what is important to try to think about as like a advice for the people to
I am not going to tell you any of the rules, but what I will tell you is that the rules are very important.
Yeah.
The rules of co-living, it has to be very, very well established. Understand? That's why all the hippie communities in the past, they fail, because it was all free. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It's my expression. And this never works. Even if you are going to make a community of cool people, you need to have rules agreed before.
Agreements.
Agreements. Certain, this is allowed, this is not allowed.
Okay. And how to deal with shadows in the community?
Naturally, shadows will arise, but there is what I call your personal shadow and the collective shadow. Your personal shadow is your responsibility. You can advise to other people in the community. I'm going through this. What you advise, but it's your personal doing. It's your responsibility, and doing your own shadow work, let's say, is your contribution to the community. Then there will arise some collective shadows in the community. This you need to sit all together and talk openly. Sometimes just expressing the problem, the shadow, is half of the healing. The shadow is negative when you suppress it, when you hide it, when you deny it. But when you speak openly with other people that are also affected by the same shadow problem, together you will find a solution. And I wish you all the best in your effort to change the world. Because I conclude saying that the world is a big garden.
Yeah, okay. This is actually interesting because in the shadow work you're working with the garden, the inner garden. And actually this makes it so important maybe also for a community to think about also the psychological processes which come up as the garden.
In a community, every person is a flower in the garden. Okay? One flower doesn't make a garden. 1,000 flowers together blooming in spring make a beautiful garden. But the world, the entire world, is a garden. When you make a community, you take a little piece of that big garden and you make it beautiful. So I make my garden beautiful. I have 3 square meters and I put flowers and I make it beautiful. So my neighbor will see, say, wait a minute, how beautiful garden. I will do the same. And he will make a little garden next to mine. It will be beautiful. And the third person will make a little garden. And if we keep growing in communities, we will make the whole world a beautiful garden. So if you want to change the world, just make your garden beautiful. Find your tribe, find your people, and give the best of yourself to the land and to the community, and you will change the world.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you. A pleasure.
Muchas gracias.
A ti también. Un placer. Y espero verte pronto. Gracias.